Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters is blowing up. #1 in 93 countries, songs charting higher than Blackpink, and it's not even real. In today's video, we're going to bring your favorite Huntrix to life. Now before we get started, just know that everything we're going to look at today can apply to basically any 2D character that you want to convert to real life. With that being said, we're going to focus on your favorite Huntrix today. First and foremost, you're going to need some reference photos of your characters. In this case, you see Rumi, Zoe, and Mari. And whether you take screenshots from the actual movie or you surf the net for some reference photos, the way I approached this was to find a decent headshot of your character first. And if you're fortunate enough to find reference photos of just their outfits like the examples you see on the screen, that will make this process even better. To get started, we're going to head over to Image and click on Create Image. You want to head over to the Model section here, and we're going to use Flux Kontext Max. Now, if you want to go ahead and use Flux Kontext Pro, which is a bit cheaper, you can use that as well. But for this demo, I'm going to use Flux Kontext Max. And the way this works is that we just need to bring in our reference photo. So we're going to click on the Omni reference section here. And for the prompt, super simple. Make the image photorealistic, beautiful Asian woman. And it's up to you if you want to add more specific details, but in this case, it worked pretty well for me. You want to make sure auto enhance is off. Otherwise, you may get varying results. So keep it simple at first. And the goal here is just to create a nice profile picture. For this example, I just left it 1:1 for the aspect ratio. You can leave the default settings and the number of images, totally up to you. I tried 4 at a time. Go ahead and create. And as a result, this is the generated image. And in my opinion, it honors the original character. The eyes are more rounder and bigger, but that's okay. I wanted it to look a little westernized, but still have Asian characteristics. And I think it came out really well. I really liked how Zoe came out. Now, it kind of messed up her hair here on the left, but I chose to leave it because I wanted to portray that not everything is perfect, especially when you're going to bring them into video. But if I wanted to be more nitpicky, I would have generated a few more images to get her hair to be more consistent. And for Mira, this was the initial image that I generated, and I think it really honored her look well. However, I was thinking of something slightly different, and I ended up using a different reference image, and this was more the look that I was kind of envisioning in my head. Now, the outfit isn't really accurate at this point, but we're going to talk about that next. Now, as I previously said, you can get a decent reference image and convert it to a photoreal image just like this example. And you see it even got her little badge here where it says Rumi with multiple R's. And that's the power of Flux Kontext. It's the only model that I know of that can do character consistency pretty well. However, at this point, we're going to use now the profile images and the outfits in combination to get a standard half view and front view image. And I'll tell you why in a second. So let's bring in our reference photos. In this case, I'm just going to go to my history and we're going to use this profile image. And then I'm just going to drag in the outfit. And in the prompt, we're going to put photorealistic analog photo of the woman with purple hair. Again, we're identifying what the subject is wearing this outfit. It'll look at the Omni reference and combine it with the photo. Now I put natural skin and toned abs for a reason, and I'll show you after we generate the image. And I wanted just a simple gray or white background. Totally up to you if you want to give it color or a scene. And to ensure consistency, we're going to put maintain her hairstyle and facial features. Hairstyle is important because I did get some generations with her with straight hair and it looked great, but I wanted to honor the original character. Taking a look at the generated image, we see we have a nice half-body image of Rumi here. And from there, I created a full-body perspective of Rumi. And the only difference in the prompt, I added long, slender legs wearing high-laced black boots, using the previous half-body image as a reference photo. Now here's an example of the hairstyle not staying consistent, and I think it looks great and it still honors the character. I could probably use this for another scene, and I'd actually put her in a short sleeve jacket. And instead of shorts, it almost looks like pants, but definitely not what I wanted for this particular image, but still very cool. Now, going back to why I prompted for natural skin and her abs was, if you look at this image here, you see right here, it's actually picking up the mannequin from the reference image, this part right here. And in other generations, it would give her these mannequin hands as well. So to avoid it in the prompt, I had to put natural skin and toned abs. And that in itself enhanced the likelihood of getting proper abs and hands. Of course, this prompt is slightly more different, and you can tell she looks a bit more Asian here as I was experimenting with different looks. And for the other characters, it's the same exact process. Use a profile photo, a reference image of their outfit, convert it to a half body photo, and then take that half body photo, convert it to full body. And then it's just a matter of taking either the half body shot or the full body shot and prompting for the environment and the background and thinking ahead of what you want the scene to be when you bring them to life. Now, to create any scene, but specifically in this case, the weapon scenes, I would take those reference photos and I would prompt it like this. Now, the weapons aren't exactly like the original, but I feel like it achieved its purpose, so I just went with it. And a couple things I want to highlight about Flux Kontext. Not only does it still keep your character consistent, but the quality of the hands are much better than other models, especially when holding weapons. And for the background, you'll notice here, I just put background as a colorful gradient of purple and blue neon lights. And that's how we got that effect. For Zoe, I actually used the original reference image and did a similar prompt like we did in the beginning. And it simply make the character photorealistic in an analog cinematic photo as a cute Asian woman. And from that, we got this. And mind you, this is an upscaled image. And you'll also notice her outfit isn't exactly like the original outfit. And that has more to do with the reference image that I used. But once again, I went with it and it turned out really good. Same concept for Mira with her staff with the blade at the end. Once again, the outfit isn't exactly 100% because I did this version first before doing the updated version with the accurate outfits. So you want to create your scenes first before you actually turn them into video. And the reason why I'm not using the storyboard at this point to create the images is because for images like this, for example, I needed to use the canvas to use the object remover to remove this and change the background, just like I showed you. But once you have all your images, this is where storyboard really comes in handy. So if we click on the very left here, and then go to from scratch, click on open editor. We can start with write and generate, and then you can use this as your storyboard. So as an example, I'll just put a few in here. So I've got 3 images here that I'm going to convert to video. And because I already have my images, there's no need for me to generate images. What I had used actually was Minimax Hilo 02. You can use any video model that you choose, but I liked Hilo because in terms of action and dynamics, the movement was just better compared to the other models. And most of the prompts were very similar, where I had a woman is rapping with attitude. She walks to the camera pushes back, tracking her movement. The footage is cinematic. That's all I did. Now, the only difference was with Rumi's character, where I state she wears knee-high lace black boots, because when the camera pans out, it's going to start showing the rest of her legs. So I had to tell the model what kind of boots she's wearing. Otherwise, it might give her short boots or running shoes even. It'll just guess. Now, theoretically, you can put all your clips and line them up here, and then you can go ahead and generate all the videos at the same time. I'm just going to do these 3 as an example. Now, once the videos are done, you could preview them by expanding them by clicking on the square here. And you can also download it directly and adjust the playback speed if you want. So we'll go ahead and play it. There we go. Yeah, not bad. Obviously, if you're not happy with the result, you can go ahead and retry the video. But let's assume that you like the results. You can go into your timeline here. And now you can see all our video clips are here. We have our timeline of each clip and we can move them around if we wanted to. And of course, import your audio for the background music or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on the editor as I covered it in a previous video about OpenArt Story. I'll leave a link in the description below. Speaking of OpenArt Story, if you happen to be sleeping under a rock and haven't heard that we just launched this feature to make short form content very easy to make with just a few clicks. Make sure to check out this video right here, and I'll have a few more on OpenArt Story coming in the next coming weeks. Until that next video, my friends, happy creating.